Welcome to Cutting Down the Nets, where we have only 2 days till March and a giant Saturday card ahead of us. Rest in peace, because now you're about to be deceased. Let's party. Here we go. I know, I'm frustrated too, but I know we're going to get through it. That is an awful record. But keep in mind, there was a 3-20 stretch in there. So we win 60% of the time when we don't lose all the bets for 2 days. It's an amazing thing. All right, big card today. Let's talk about it. Game number one. I would find it highly unlikely I play game number one. This Vanderbilt line is set knowing that Disu is out, one of Vandy's starters. He is now out for the year. And Scottie Pippen Jr., yes, that's Scottie Pippen Jr., is questionable. And I believe he had a MRI on Thursday. Typically, you don't get MRIs on Thursday and play on Saturday. So if you saw news that Pippen was playing and if that 8 was available, I would grab it. But neither of those things are likely. And good luck with college injury reporting. So I will sit out the first game. Eastern Kentucky, Tennessee State. Whew, yeah, it's a little messy there, but I will be going there. Some other things to note on this list: Liberty and Bellarmine. I like the value on Bellarmine, not just because of what's here. It's a program that's done well this year in their first year in D1, but they haven't played since February 13th, so I will sit that one out as well. Other things to note: Tennessee and Auburn. Auburn is likely to be without Sharife Cooper. He's listed as doubtful. So Creep can roll, man. He either scores 30 points or he has like 15 assists. He's probably the best player in the SEC. So I would not be interested in any Auburn without Sharife Cooper in the game. Other big games today, just in case you were looking to bet them, I don't see enough value in here to bet. That Wisconsin line is likely assuming that Ayo is out for Illinois. That's why that one's even close there. Florida State can continue to ride them. They're good and they cover. That's what they do. They are now on the road at North Carolina. It's a little closer. They've beefed them up a little bit. I was hoping for something closer to a pick'em, and I would have jumped on Florida State yet again. Michigan and Indiana. That's about it. So you see there. So let's get into my card. I will indicate when there is a clear tear drop in my card today. So I certainly feel better about the first half of my card than I do the second. But I have placed bets on all of these. First game is the Colonels, where they bring their secret spices and herbs to Tennessee State. That game's actually at EKU, but I've got this closer to 20. We've got a number of 13. This is more of a play against Tennessee State, which you have seen me do over and over again. So give me EKU. Next up, our boys. How many times are they going to cover for us? How could you not play hard for that man with the face shield? It's so good. So Georgia Tech minus 4.5. This has been kind of a fade Syracuse and hop on Georgia Tech train lately, so not a surprise to see this game pop in the model today. I have bet Georgia Tech and suggest you do the same. Next up, Colorado without Chauncey Billups taking on UCLA. UCLA has played better of late, but I still have this a good spot for the Buffaloes. I have it closer to 11.7 and would play it up to 7 or better. A quick note on this: play at a number or better. So I don't really guess with this stuff. I mean, you're still projecting, you're dealing with median projections, but basically what I do is I take those efficiencies that you see listed there. That's what I have chosen as this is the number I'm using for this game. I then, in my Python, yep, nerd alert, I run a simulation of those games, and it will tell me what percent of the time they cover a certain number. And I believe Colorado covering the 6 was around, I think it was like 57% of the time. I mean, that tells you how thin these margins are. And then I play with it a little bit. I'll move it to 6.5. I'll move it to 7. At 7, I think it was still at 53, and then above that goes below the vig. I mean, that's kind of how this works. And it's not all science. There's a little art to it. Obviously, in choosing the numbers I've chosen, I had to make some decisions on data points. But it's a little bit of the secret sauce, and I think you'll see more of that come March Madness. All right, next game I'm playing that you should not is probably Albany lane 5 against NJIT. It's the start of the conference tournament, but it is at Albany. Whew, well, good luck here. These teams haven't played that many games. A little bit of narrative with Albany's leadership with the number of seniors they have, been there, done that. And using these efficiencies, I came up with a number closer to 11. So I am fine at 5 or 6 with Albany. Who in a game that's going to make you uncomfortable? It is betting against Alabama, which I don't know if I've done this year in any capacity. But 6 points is a lot of points, especially on the road in the SEC. So I had this closer to 1.5. I would not play it at a number worse than 6 because I don't think you should get a number worse than 6. I don't see 5.5 being even a line that you have to deal with, or 5. Like, you're going to get 6 and you might get better. So that's why I indicated +6 or better. Is I just don't think the market should warrant a worse number than that. And you may get better. The higher that goes, the better it is for us. Bama is elite. Bama shoots 30, 35 threes a game, so it's a very high variance team. They were obviously frustrated with Arkansas's defense in the last game. Technical fouls. They had guys fouling out. I think Herb Jones played like 15 minutes because he was in my DFS lineup. So, Narrative Street here, I'd say that this is just not a game that Bama likes to play. So the flip side of that is, will Mississippi State be able to score enough to withstand like a huge Bama run or something like that? That's the risk there. So I'm playing it, and you can make your own choice based on that information. Next up, give me the big number. I don't care. Been shying away from big numbers, but give me Abilene Christian -17 at home against Central Arkansas and just put them out of their misery. I'm not scared of this game. It is a big number. Let's have some fun. Let's bet a big number and hope they crush. That is probably the beginning of my teardrop, if you're wondering, when you're laying 17 points with Abilene Christian. And by the way, this is at Central Arkansas too. Road Abilene Christian. Don't care. I'm playing it. Next game that I am betting that maybe shouldn't is New Orleans against Nicholls State. Don't be fooled by records. When you look at records, you're going to be like, what are you doing? Analytically, these teams are very, very similar. So I am fine with New Orleans there. But yeah, if you look at records, you're going to not bet this game. I'll just tell you that. All right, this one's getting tight. Like, this is at the far edges of the model, like 53% cover probability. There's not much room there. Louisville and Duke, but give me Duke. I am fine with that. I think it's starting to get inflated. People have caught on that they're playing well and they're playing more efficiently without Jalen Johnson, which was initially a surprise to me, but I have definitely come around on that. Louisville does get David Johnson back today. So it'll be tight. I'm fine there. I'm going to bet it, and I'll deal with the consequences. Final game, And also, favorite picture of today's slate would be another thing, stretching the model. This is right at the edges, as I only have this a few points better. But Arkansas has played a lot of games without Justin Smith. I believe they're like 17-1, 17-2 with him. So factoring that in, LSU can score easily. A lot of elite scorers on the team. They've got Cam Thomas, Smart, Watford. I mean, it's a good team. Arkansas should be able to score enough because LSU cannot stop anybody, and hopefully Arkansas's D can make it happen. That Arkansas-Bama game I watched a few days ago was really sloppy, and I think that helps this situation as well. So, big card. Don't care. Let's get some. Let's make some progress. March is 2 days away. Good luck. Cash in those bets.